Hello guys, how are you this morning? Today is Friday. It's the start of my work day, or the biggest part of my work day. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, always the busy time in my life. So we're here in the farm. I came in the farm this morning and Twisty Maze was here working away, and I'm going to pronounce it wrong, so I'm going to say it in English. The lumberjack, somebody that I met a very long time ago actually in this game. And he knew me when my account was still called Evangelie. So he didn't, or just Ava, people call me Ava. And didn't realize that, a kiss for luck was that person right away. But he's been around a fair bit lately. And both the guys were on the farm, just busy little beavers, plowing and harvesting and planting oh my. And then I got to go over to the lumberjack. It's in French. And while French was, perhaps my first language, I apparently spoke French just fine when I was 2 or 3 or something, but man, not anymore. So I will just keep saying the lumberjack because I don't want to butcher the word in French. And my French pronunciation is atrocious. It comes out sounding like Spanish is the problem. But anyway, I got to go over to his farm and place a few things from events that he hadn't had yet. So, and I'm wondering, I must be close to having all of the events now. Although, see, last year was such a muddle in my head. I just don't know. I know when I started playing the game was late fall, early winter, I think end of November, first part of December, middle of December. It was before Christmas. That's all I got. That's all I remember. It was not very long before. So I had the winter event there with the Santas and reindeers and presents, oh my. And I had one before that. I'm not sure that there were any more than that, however. So I just don't know. But I'm in the game every day now. It's always on, and I'll be able to find out, right? Over the next month here, I'll be able to find out if I caught up. Because I believe this year, I've recorded, I've had something online almost every day. I know I have missed a day or two when either I was ill or when my mom had her heart attack or something. I think I did miss a couple of days this year, but I think I got all the events this year. It's just between now and the winter stuff. I just don't know. I have no memory whatsoever of what comes between the sort of, they don't call them Halloween and Christmas exactly, but basically between those two events. I don't know what it is, what we have. So although we are there should be at least 2 more, right? We're at the end of October. There's usually a couple per month. And then the first part of December. So there should be 3 between now and the Christmas stuff, I would think. I could be wrong. I guess we'll find out. What I should do is actually pay attention to the upcoming year. But see, I'd have to do it for the whole year. Oh, that feels like such a commitment. My brain goes, yeah, right, because you're going to do that. And it laughs at me. My brain just laughed at me. It actually giggled. It was terrible. But, just to keep track of every event, what part of the month they're in, what items you get from it. Although I can't actually see all the items from them anymore. I need a second account. I do. Oh my gosh, what a great idea. I need a second account for this, don't I? I actually do. Because I have an old website that really, I don't even know if it's still online, but I could get into there and I could actually post, here are the pictures of what you get. Here are the times that it's online. Here's what you can look forward to. Here's what you're going to have to harvest. Blah, 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 and how long they take. I would have loved to have found all that information in one tidy place. And I never have. I still haven't, actually. You can find it if you go hunting in all the places enough, but just to be able to say, here are the holidays, and just go down the list and find everything without having to click 49 times. Sometimes I just want a page with everything on it. I just want to be able to scroll down through January, February, March, see what's there. Go, oh, I'm just wondering what comes in November, and just scroll down to the end of the page and find it without going, oh, I have to back up, go to November, decide what do I want for November. Do I want to see what the items are, or do I want to click on the link that tells me how many of different things I want, or do I have to click on, oh, could I just not have it all on one page the whole year? Scroll for a minute, it's there. Oh well. I have to admit, a lot of, the wikis and a lot of the sort of database things that are out there for games, I mean, they're wonderful. You get to just run a search, find something. But I find them tedious. I used to teach e-commerce, web design, computer programming, just stuff. I used to teach a lot of computer related things, and I was big on the fact that a website needed to have as few clicks as possible. But that was back in the olden days when I was quite literally the only person in my part of the world doing things like websites, web design, e-commerce, database programming, stuff like that. I was kind of the only one here. I won a bunch of business awards, and it just occurred to me that it was really easy to do because I had no competition at all. It's like, who should we give this award to? Should it be her or I guess her? I just give it to her. I don't know. Maybe that's why I won things. It's like there was nobody else doing this stuff. Oh my goodness. But at the time, I had been quite fortunate, and I guess because it was early days, I had a lot of Microsoft certifications and various security certifications, blah blah blah, and I had been invited by a company that was actually the company that created the exams for certifications, various industry certifications. Like if you wanted to be a Microsoft Office user specialist, or if you wanted to be a security specialist of some sort, or networking special, whatever, that kind of thing. I was invited by the company to be, I think they called me a subject matter expert. And basically it was like, okay, we're thinking about, a company B has come to us and said, we want to be able to hire, people that are certified in our particular line of whatever. And we want testing to be out there so that employers can know that if they hire somebody who has this certification, they have at least X amount of knowledge on that topic. Like they know they've got some sort of background. They have at least a foot in the door, right, in learning things. Because getting certifications is one thing. Using it in the real world is often an entirely different matter. And a lot of times there was a disconnect. The exam taught you this, but you never really used much of that when you actually got out into, your employment area. Then all of a sudden you were finding you needed very different skills than what you had taught. So they hired me to look at their stuff and say, is this good for the exam? Does this actually come up in a real world environment, in the place, where you work and what you do? How is this something that's important? So I would kind of critique the exams and say, okay, well, I've never even seen this. This is ridiculous. This is never going to happen because blah, blah, blah happens instead, or because it will be handled like this rather than down that route. It's not a standalone issue, so this is never going to happen. I just did stuff like that for them. But because I had that, and that was a lot of noise to get to where I was going, but because I sort of had an in with some companies, I had access to a lot of data. This data where they're they follow you. Where are you clicking? You are on my website. Where do you go from here? How many pages, do you look at? How long do you stay on my website? What other websites are you looking at for the same topic? Where do you land? Where do you end up? And the big one is, where do you spend your money? How often does a person, visit my website before they're willing to spend money at my company? And I used to know that down to a fraction, 3.7 times, that sort of thing. And how many links would people click on before they just left? And that used to be a lot less than it is now. You used to have about 3 shots to give people the information they wanted, or, they were out of there. It was like, that's all you land on the page, that's one, okay? Like it had to be, we were trained to just sit and follow rabbit holes across the internet all day, back in the olden days, right? I mean, we were there to get something, and we had to have a reason to, we had to get what we wanted, or we just go find. I could pick up a book and read it, guys. I could sit at my table, or my foot up on the sofa with a nice cup of something. I have a good cup of tea and a chocolate chip cookie, and read a book to give me this information with a fire in front of me and all relaxed. Or I can sit there and click on the blaster computer, was kind of the attitude back in the olden days. But yeah, so websites had to be built quite different than they are now. They had to be quite different than they are now, for sure. Excuse me. Okay, and I think I'm cheating. I've actually got this house. I went ahead and put stuff in it. I know, I'm cheating. I'm not supposed to have this many houses. I got to get rid of something. But I like the castle. I don't feel it fits what I want to do, but I actually quite like the castle. All right, what do I have to do? It is summer. I need to go click on the fishy place. I am only at level 10. Ooh, and we're already up to what? The last one was 1 million something. The one before was 1 million, then this is going fast too. We start getting into the cash here, seriously. This is me trying things because I find this one, it feels like it's such a mound. It feels so rounded to me. It feels like it's quite high, and I'd be sliding off the side all the time. I figure on a rainy day, it looks kind of mucky, and it's so mounded in the middle. It feels like you'd be sliding off all the time, and it's like gross. And I got to get out of this outfit. I really, really have to get out of this outfit. Twisty Maze says he's been taking screenshots of it because it's so ugly. And he's not wrong. Oh, it's so bad. Oh, it's so bad. Okay, where are we with the warehouse? Look at that. One more, and we're halfway. 144 is the halfway point in terms of resources and diamonds that you need. Yeah, in 5 minutes, we'll be halfway. Only the half, though. Oh, son of a gun. It's pretty harsh. So in terms of laying out this farm, see, I'm thinking some of these fields that I have now, just the field crop areas, I think I'm going to put them up here. I'm going to have just a line of them right here. And these are bees for honey. And I'm redoing this. I know, I've been putting it off. I've been whining since day one, but I am absolutely redoing this. I can't do this. It's not working for me. I'm redoing this. So I'll be taking this whole area here and turning that into the animal farm. Extending these plants up higher. Obviously, I don't want all that space, all of it wasted. That's certainly not. I could take these 3 and at least line them up with that now, couldn't I? And there'll be lots and lots of flowers down here. Flowers and trees. Like everything's just going to be mixed. So That's an extra row of barns I put in. Did I show you the guys' stuff? I don't even know if what I've shown you. That feels funny being right in front of the gate, doesn't it? Doesn't that feel like a bad place? There we go. And we put a little road in, a dirt trail. So I've got, you know, we've got some roads up and down here. I did put roads down along the end of this because it's just faster. You need to be able to zoom, right? Sometimes. So this center section here, I just put in tulips and 2 rows of barns, just a storage area. I mean, this is good, you know, we need that when you harvest things. Some things have got to be dried, some things have to be stored at the right temperatures, blah, 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 right? So I thought an extra row of barns down there seemed like a good choice. I need the storage, and, you know, it gave me an excuse to just break up the unrelenting fields and canals, so that seemed like a good thing. So yeah, with some of these, the ones that are lower down there, I could add so they're at least level with this. We can certainly add more of them over there. And right here, the only reason I stopped right here because the horses were there and I was too freaking lazy to move them. It's true. Sometimes that's how decisions are made. I haven't even moved this canal in all the way yet. Oh my goodness. It's pathetic, you know. It's like, fine, I'll just do it later. Oh my goodness. Maybe it's time. Grumble, grumble. Okay. I don't know where to put them, mind you, but I mean, these guys can go anywhere. You know what? They could go, you know, I don't have to just take these. I can take this and you, and I got you too. Good, good. Alrighty then. I think you guys are going to end up down here someplace with the other staff. I mean, magic horses are weird. They just are. I have horses with purple on them. It's just messed up. And there we go. Okay, you can take care of them back here, out of the way of the sane parts of the world. And while I'm here, might as well do this. I'm really looking forward to working on this staff thing. I want this to be a proper complex. We'll have the house or 2. I'm thinking about forgetting the whole guest house idea and just using them both for staff things. But, you know, the place where these things get made, lots of storage, of course, where the machinery gets stored. We'll have lots of trucks kicking around, the oil pump, of course. A nice breakfast buffet area outside, or just a fooding area outside where, you know, my staff can sit on a nice summer evening when all their work is done. And the little house that I'm giving them there has got a pool in it, but I think I'm going to actually build them a proper pool. Yeah. Oh yeah, I have plans. They're going to have a proper pool of their own. You know, a few recreation things. Nothing too big and fancy, but a couple, you know, a barbecue where they can barbecue, or like, you know, this where they can get pancakes in the morning. If there's a nice summer morning, we have a cook that comes out and cooks them up pancakes and lets them eat outside. It's like, oh, sure. You know, whatever, and whatever work we're doing, like the manufacturing or the harvesting, you know, these sorts of things, making the jam and the cheese and stuff is all going to be here. So quite looking forward to it. Man, we got a lot of nuts and mushrooms, but I don't have any place back here to sell them. Boom, boom, boom. Of course, as soon as I do sell them, it will transpire that they are needed for the next level of the warehouse. We know how this goes. I don't know where I'm supposed to be starting with these, so we'll just do extras. Not these. But we leveled up our little Dutch rabbits, so that's okay. I know it's these dark ones, but when they mix themselves up like that, it's hard to know where they're starting or ending. Rosemary. Well, it's unfortunate that the rosemary came up, and it came up right after, within moments of me having harvested all of the rosemary. True story, of course, right? Of course it did. How else could that happen? Yeah, this is a really, really sucky method. I do not like this layout for the animals at all. I am changing it. I'm sorry. Okay, what do we have? Do we have anything we need to click on? Do we have anything we need to be planting for this season other than just our money crops? No, we don't. We got a bazillion melons here. Not really sure why. I guess melons are great for making a lot of money. Well, they used to be, I guess. I don't know. In the earlier days of the game, melons were fabulous for making money because they were relatively quick. You didn't make much, but at a lower end farm, because they were so fast, you could just plant, harvest, plant, harvest, plant, harvest, plant, harvest. By the time you planted a lot, you could come back and harvest them. And, you know, if you were just seriously putting in the time, a never-ending, you know, plow, plant, harvest, plow, plant, harvest, over and over and over and over again. If you were willing to do that, they worked out pretty well. I'm not sure that they were plants that I think became better later, but they're pretty good. And I'm guessing that's why there's so many here. Perhaps somebody was in not knowing about the mod that's on, that they can plant pretty much anything and then just leave, come back, and have, you know, longer term plants ready to harvest, making a lot more money per click. And that's kind of how I do it. How I determine, you know, is this going to make me a lot of money based on not just how am I going to say this? You go to a lot of places and they say this is the best plant for making money. And what that means is somebody has done the math. Somebody has said, this plant makes you X number of dollars every 10 minutes. Yay, that makes it the best. It doesn't take into account, you know, any kind of real life setting as to how long you will be in the game, what your playing styles are like, and none of them take into account how long does it take to do this. Drive up and down a freaking aisle of plants, a column, a row of plants, and click. They don't take into account this. So if I can make twice as much money with less clicks, I win, right? And I'm talking even without mods. So I kind of really early in the game, I looked at all the, you know, all these pages that said, this is the best for making money. Oh, this is the best. This is the best. And then you come in and actually do those things. And it's like, no, actually it's not, because I've got to click and drive back and forth like this. These, you know, those seconds just add up over and over and over again, while I can do less clicks, you know, of some other plant that makes perhaps slightly less, or makes me wait longer or something, but I don't have to spend as much time. My time counts too, because I'm not a machine and I can't just relentlessly click, click, click all day. So I have found all the pages that say, oh, this is the best money-making plants. It's like, on paper, probably. In real life, pardon the, you know, if we can count any of what we do in games as real life, but it's not so much, you know, not so much. So anyway, I am going to shut up. I got some things taken care of. We've got just that one animal left. We got fish over here that is being sorted out. I need to remove some of these to wherever they may end up living in the future. Actually, how am I going to do this with canals on this side? I guess I'm going to need another series of canals along the end there. and then run the canals up, aren't I? I do. I really do. But what I could do for right now is just start putting a couple of the small ones in and moving some of these flowers over to this section so I can free this up for all these field crops. Then I can just recycle whatever's left in the middle and start fresh. Ooh, I gave myself a rush. I actually did. Oh, and maybe that's what I need to be doing. I like this plant. Wait, look, you're here. You get to see it up close and personal. Look at this. Halfway to home. Woo! Thank you guys for being here. I hope you're having a lovely day. It's beautiful outside. I'm hoping to get my dog out for a walk. She hasn't been feeling good, but I can usually convince her. Well, for a few days I couldn't, but she got out yesterday. She needed to lay down and rest, but we might get out. I hope you get out too. Bye-bye, guys.